Okay, guys, welcome to your press conference. Today we have Treasure Coast with us, and Coach, maybe if you can give us your name and a little bit of background, anything about your assistant coaches.
Yeah, sure. I'm Coach Mike Sindone. This is my 5th year at Treasure Coast High School. We are returning 4 seniors this year, so we're excited about those seniors, and we're working very hard all off season, get stronger, get better every single day. Our goals this year are essentially a district title. It always is. And then obviously try to make a run deep into playoffs. And then just see really where we go. We're trying to, every year we try to do something special for our seniors. This year especially, we've had these guys, this being my 5th year. It's a full 4-year class, so it's our second 4-year class that I'll actually have, but this group is a little special to me personally. So we're excited about this group, and we're trying really hard to make sure that we cross our T's and dot our I's and make sure that we're ready to go for our upcoming season.
Great. So, Coach, your team, everyone here is seniors?
No, one junior.
We have one junior.
One junior and the rest seniors. Your team has always prided itself on fundamental baseball.
Correct.
And maybe you can share with us, how your team has jumped on board and embraced the concept of playing good fundamental baseball, because it's not the easiest thing to sell to
Right.
To 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. Everybody wants to hit the long ball,
Right.
to get everybody to buy in on that.
So yeah, and that's right, very accurate. We stress fundamentals every single day. Our practice is based around fundamentals, not just defensive fundamentals, throwing, playing catch, how they warm up, how they stretch, and then offensively. So many kids, 16, 17-year-old kids, it's all about launch angles, it's all about exit velo, which is great, it's good numbers, but we talk about situational hitting, the importance of hitting behind runners, the importance of moving runners over, man on third, less than 2 outs, things like that. We do that every single day in our BP rounds. Very rarely do we ever get in the cage, get into the turtle on the field, and are we just taking hacks. It's always defense, offense with a purpose. You have a plan, execute that plan, trying to get the job done.
How are you able to get them to buy in is really the question.
Buy in. I mean, it's not. We have a great group of leaders. Our leadership is tremendous. Basically, just trying to relate to the kid. Thinking back of when I was 16, 17 years old, and what did I want in a program, and then just sense of, hey guys, if we do this, this is the results we're going to have. And then as each year they see, like, okay, I bought into fundamentals, I bought into this, I bought into situational hitting, and oh, my batting average went up, things like that. So we really preach that essentially a team's success leads to individual goals. And so as long as they see those results, and then they see that their coaching staff cares and is in tune with their future and what their goals are for the next level, they're willing to give us everything they have every single day at this age.
And one thing we've also seen with your program is the integration of academics. And,
Yes.
that's one thing that's really not talked about as much, and we haven't talked about as much in these press conferences. Maybe you can talk about, how you've been able to get such a high collective GPA out of your team.
Yeah, that's something we pride ourselves on. We celebrate all small successes, all large successes that we can. If a kid wins science fair, we make it a big deal. We announce it's part of our team huddle at practice. It's part of our team huddle in games. It's not just, hey, you went 3 for 3 with 2 jacks today. It's, hey man, you made science fair, or hey, you got a 4.0 this semester. So it's just a full, I guess you could say, program from top to bottom. It's the academic portion, stressing student athlete, the importance of being a student. It's literally, it's everyday culture and everyday talk around our dugout is essentially the importance of academics, and how one day, whether you're 14 or 40, baseball's going to end, and you need to have a plan. And academics is usually that road that's going to take you to where you need to go.
Well, let's talk to the players a little bit to see what they have to say. You guys are obviously the ones that Coach counts on the most. That's why you're here today. Maybe you can talk about the off-season, fall ball coming into the spring, and how it's been different for you this season as a leader compared to how it was in seasons past.
Um, this off season we started early, around October. We wanted to get as much extra work as we could. So 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're out there right after school. It's a lot of hard work, conditioning, open field. We get as much as we can, mass reps. And we also have a lot of interchangeable parts that we've worked on. So like kids will do infield and they'll go to outfield and they'll go work on pitching. So all the depth that we have was really what we worked on a lot in off season. So that if one guy goes down, we have a guy right behind him, and we know we can trust that person. So this fall was a lot of hard work into doing different things and working our bodies in different ways.
And how has that been different for you as a leader in this team as opposed to in seasons past where maybe you were expecting others to lead a little bit more? Now it's being asked of you. How has it been different for you?
We've all gotten a lot more work in the outfield and the infield. And when those kids from the outfield come in or the younger guys come up to work in the infield with me, or they go to the outfield to work with Ray or Martin, or first baseman go to work with TJ, they really want to learn this whole program, JV, varsity. They all want to learn a lot. So when we lead by example. We preach that a lot. So all those guys really want to work hard, and that's what's been the difference this fall.
Yeah, we mostly preach a lot about leading the next guy, teaching the next guy, you know what I'm saying, leaving a legacy for the next guy, and doing what's best for the team and the program, you know what I'm saying. Like we always preach help the youngers because we're going to be gone next year, so it's always about the next guy and leaving something, leaving a message, leaving a legacy for the program.
Do you find Coach and the other coaches are trusting you guys more now as you guys get older and show more responsibility?
Yeah, I would think so. You know what I'm saying? As we grow to be seniors, we grow our relationship with the coaches, and he's like a second father to me, and we're real close. We're real close.
And maybe for the other guys, how has it been coming into the season, showing the identity of your club and the personality of your club? Maybe you guys can talk about the feeling you guys have as a team coming in this season.
I think that the Treasure Coast Titan, we've really been building our brand over the last 5 or 6 years since Coach has been there. And I think it's really been showing in the way we're playing and the way we're presenting ourselves to, like, on the field and off the field. Obviously, we're really stressing academics and hard work off the field. And then we're also wanting to succeed and fulfill our goals on the field. So I think that the Treasure Coast Titan name really means something to us. And it's something that we carry throughout our lives, and even after high school. Like, we have seniors that have graduated, and they still come back because we're family, and we all love each other. And the bond we've built over 4 years, and as teammates, it's something eternal, and it's something that stays with us forever, regardless of where we go or where we end up.
Yeah, so this season personally is meaning a lot for all of us because we've been there through where we've had to fight to show our name and everything, and now that we've been fighting, and now people are like, oh, watch out for Treasure Coast. So I think that's a big part of us, and we know that we have to keep fighting because even though it's watch out for Treasure Coast, it can be that we can fight back, or we have to keep fighting no matter what, even though we can be the top dog now.
And how has that transformation been for you guys to go from being the hunter to the hunted? Like, how has that been in this off season coming in?
It's been great because we've had, like, as freshmen, we've had to watch the seniors, and we had to develop as leaders, and now we get to lead, and we get to keep that legacy. Keep that legacy going. So now it's like, okay, now we'll go and we'll play anybody and we'll fight our hardest. But now kids are coming in, they're like, okay, now they know we have to play our hardest, and now we know now we still have to keep playing our hardest as much as we've been playing, or the same way we've been playing.
Do you guys find yourself spending a little bit more time mentoring the younger players now with that sense of responsibility of knowing what the future of the program is?
Yeah, a lot of the younger guys, they look up to a lot of us, so if they need something, they always know that they can come to us. We make, like, during conditioning and open field, we'd have big huddles, and us seniors, juniors, honestly, we let whoever feels the need to say anything, we let them say what they feel, because on our team, we preach that if you want to be a leader, then be a leader. Everyone can be a leader on the team, freshman, sophomore. If a JV guy sees something that a senior is doing, he can tell us, and we're going to listen. We preach about that a lot, like being open to the help from anybody, from any coach that thinks they see something, because if they don't see something and somebody else does, we always say, if you see something, say it. It's just you trying to help us, so we understand that.
And Coach, you've always done a good job of integrating the younger players into the program. So are there any ones in particular that we should be looking out for this season?
We have a lot of young guys. We have 3 sophomores that we're excited. One being Jack Abbott. He's got a lot of power. He's a sophomore. We'll see how many ABs he gets necessarily this year. He's fighting for starting innings right now. Obviously, we've had a lot of freshmen on varsity the last 2-3 years, so that kind of slows things down for that younger player who comes in after those guys have been here for 4 years. Pretty much 3 of the 4 up here right now were freshman starters, and Martin was an outfielder for us that is a senior now that could tell those younger guys every day how hard he's worked and fought as a platoon guy. But as far as on varsity, we have a good group of juniors, a really good small group of sophomores coming up, and then actually we're even excited about some of our freshmen on JV. A lot of those guys are learning from these guys. They understand the importance of picking the brain of the guy that's older. These guys actually take them to the cage. Within the rules of what I'm allowed to do as their coach in the off season, I'm limited. But Martin and Ant will pick up a guy. TJ will take a guy to the cage. Ray actually has a younger brother on the team, and so he knows a lot of our younger guys that are on our JV team that are coming up. So, but as far as names, as far as sophomores or really, really young guys, I'd say Jack Abbott's one to watch out for. Nate Miller is one of our 2 catchers on varsity. He's a sophomore, really knows the game. With Nate was a freshman on varsity last year, and he can pick apart a game almost as a coach would. So we're really excited about him. Those are 2 guys that will fight for innings, but they have some seniors and some juniors that are probably in front of them right now. But every day we make them compete. Every day a senior knows, hey, I was the freshman on varsity and I replaced a senior. So every day we try to have that competitive culture. So young, old, it doesn't really matter. We stress and tell them every day the better player will play. And so they know that. So they come to practice every single day ready to compete.
What kind of team do you guys see yourself as? This question's for you, Coach, but also for the players too. Do you see yourself winning games with power, with speed, with pitching, with defense? What is it? What is it that's going to make the difference for you guys, and what are the keys for you guys winning this season?
Right. Well, they'll tell you, you win games by, which we always joke around, but they say, pitching, defense, and 3-run home runs. But they'll tell you.
I think the 3-run home run
right.
is
Take the 3-run home run out of it. That's always a luxury. But they, they'll tell you, and it's pitching and defense. Pitching and defense is our bread and butter. Even our entire practice scheme, which I learned from a friend of mine, was really when I was an assistant coach, was how to run a practice, and we title it Fundies. And so it's fundamental based. It's every single day working those defensive fundamentals. So pitching and defense is our bread and butter. Offense is great, but ultimately we know we have to go in and possibly win a 1-run ball game. So what's gonna keep us in that ball game, and that's us making routine plays look routine and us being able to throw strikes.
Let's talk about your schedule a little bit. This season, what is it for you and for the players? What game are you guys looking forward to the most this season?
Right. So our schedule's interesting. Every year we try to make it as hard as possible. We go on the road. We go to Hagerty in Oviedo, and they're ranked in the state. We have Calvary Christian coming to us. We went to them last year. They're ranked in the state, probably one of the top 2-3 teams in the nation. So we're looking forward to all those games. We really try, and it might sound cliche, we one game at a time. But Vero's in our district, Vero Beach High School's baseball powerhouse. We always have to get past them. So any district game is a game that we look forward to. I could tell you the boys are looking forward to our spring break trip. We're going to go to Sarasota for 4 days. We're going to play in the Sarasota Classic. There'll be some really good teams like Venice High School, Sarasota High School, and many more teams that are just absolutely loaded every single year. And it's not just us going and playing good teams. it's them seeing like, all right, a Venice High School or Sarasota High School, both historic programs that have won multiple district titles, multiple state titles. So them seeing not only their facility, but they see their culture. And so that's really what we've tried to do with this group is every game we play, on the road or home, try to watch what the other group does, watch what the other team does in the sense of what can we take to make us better or what can we learn from that group, whether it's what not to do or whether it is what to do. So every single game we look forward to playing, whether it's the best team on our schedule or the worst, we're going to take them very seriously.
Very impressive, Coach. We thank you very, very much for your time today and for all of you guys. Very, very good job for everybody, and we wish you a great season.
Thank you. Thank you so much.